Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're looking at some tech that could really change how we think about project management.
Okay.
Especially for those of you out there in small or medium-sized businesses.
Yeah.
If you're always working on projects, trying to get things done.
Absolutely.
We're talking about BrightMind's insights for projects. And they use AI to give businesses a clearer picture of
Interesting.
how their projects are actually doing, like really doing.
So what's really interesting to me is that they're targeting a gap for SMEs.
Right.
Like, you know, those bigger companies,
Yeah.
they often have these like huge, expensive project management systems.
Right.
But for smaller businesses, that's just too much, you know?
Yeah.
Pricey, complex.
It's overkill.
Totally.
Yeah.
BrightMinds is making it simpler.
Yeah, and it feels like they're really focusing on the people,
Yeah.
the human side of things.
It's human element.
Yeah, not just looking at numbers and deadlines,
Right.
but how do the people actually doing the work feel?
Yeah. The insights.
Yeah.
The feelings. Yeah.
Like how often do we just get bogged down in the spreadsheets and miss
Exactly. All those spreadsheets.
what's actually going on with the team?
And they actually point this out.
Okay.
They say that only 21% of projects actually get to where they want it to be,
Wow. So most projects fail.
according to KPMG. Yeah.
So they're failing.
Most of them.
Yeah, and BrightMind says.
Yeah. They say that one of the biggest reasons is that we're not using the information that's inside the team's heads.
So how do they get that information? They talk about open AI technology.
It is high tech.
It sounds fancy.
Yeah. They analyze data from the team members,
Okay.
but it's not like all number crunching.
Oh.
They look at the feelings, the perceptions
Okay.
about the project,
Got it.
like emotional intelligence.
So it's like an emotional intelligence layer on top of the normal stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So how does that turn into something useful? Can you give me an example?
Okay, so imagine you're leading this project. The team's telling you everything's fine,
Hmm.
but BrightMinds looks at the data and says, hold on, there's this gap.
Oh,
The team has the skills to do the work, but they don't think they're going to succeed.
that's a big problem.
And you'd miss it otherwise.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that coming.
Oh.
So what do you do then?
So BrightMinds would say, okay, you need to boost the team's morale.
Okay.
Get leadership involved to show the project's important. Show the team what they did well in the past.
So you're being proactive instead of just waiting for everything to explode.
Exactly. Preventing problems
Right.
and helping the team do their best.
So they can actually reach their potential.
Yeah. And what I think is interesting
Yeah.
is that they're not trying to do everything for everyone.
Right.
They've picked a specific audience,
Who is that?
medium-sized businesses in Australasia.
So they're niching down. Why do you think?
I think it's smart.
Okay.
It's for companies that are big enough to need this, but not big enough to afford the really expensive systems.
Yeah. It's like that sweet spot.
Yeah, where they can make a big impact.
And their pricing seems to make sense for that.
Yeah,
It's like a tiered subscription, which I like.
it's more approachable.
Yeah. And they even have a free trial so you can test it out.
That's a good move.
Right.
Lets people try before they buy.
See if it's worth it.
Exactly.
But they are thinking about the downsides, too.
Yeah,
Like, what if someone tries to copy them?
that's a risk.
What are they doing to stop that?
Well, they're looking at protecting their IP,
Okay. Makes sense.
but they also want to get into the market quickly.
To make a name for themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
establish themselves as the leader.
So playing offense and defense,
Exactly.
they're really covering all the bases.
Yeah, and that's what I find so interesting about this.
Yeah.
They're not just like throwing some tech out there.
All right.
They're being really strategic about it.
That's why we do these deep dives.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at how BrightMinds actually works. They talk about this capacity-based service model,
Yeah.
and they've got this mobile app.
Right.
So you can easily answer questionnaires and see your project dashboard.
So they're creating a real-time feedback loop.
Okay.
So instead of waiting a month for a report,
Yeah.
you get insights right away.
Okay.
As soon as the team finishes a questionnaire.
So it's all about being fast and adaptable.
Yeah, being agile.
So you can fix things before they get out of control.
Exactly. They don't say much about the AI itself,
Right.
but they use OpenAI
Okay.
to look at the numbers and the feelings, you know?
So it's not just about number.
Right.
Okay, so it's like they keep saying
Yeah.
emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Is that what makes them different from the other project management systems?
It's a big difference, definitely.
Okay.
They're being very human-centered
Yeah.
in a field that's usually very cold and impersonal.
Right.
They talk about looking at things like start dates, end dates, budgets, spending,
Hmm.
even the project status,
Yeah. To get a sense of,
the team's unity, the overall portfolio status.
okay, so do they say how accurate their insights are?
They don't give exact numbers,
Okay.
but they do say that their founders have a lot of experience in project management,
Right.
and they understand the challenges that SMEs face.
So they're not just some techies who don't know what it's like in the real world.
Exactly. They've been there.
They get it.
They get it.
And they're not pretending to be the only ones doing this.
Right.
They mentioned some competitors.
Yeah, like Team Dynamics,
Oh, yeah.
Jaforma, PlanView,
Yeah.
Clarizen, Project Insight.
Those are big names. How are they going to compete with them?
Well, those companies usually focus on those huge companies.
With lots of money.
Yeah, Bright Minds sees an opportunity for SMEs.
Okay, so they're being very deliberate about going after a specific market.
Yeah, a segment where they can do well.
And they're not afraid of the little guys either?
Right, the startups.
Small consultancies?
Yeah, that might copy them.
So they've got competition from both sides.
Yeah, but they have a plan.
Okay, so what's their strategy?
Well, they want to protect their IP
Okay.
and move quickly to get market share.
But they're also thinking about working with those bigger companies.
Yeah, forming partnerships.
So instead of fighting them,
Right.
they might team up,
Exactly.
but they're realistic about the risks,
Yes.
like getting project managers to change how they do things.
Yeah, it's hard to change habits.
Right, and it's tough to break into big organizations.
Big organizations are slow to change.
Yeah.
But they have some ideas.
Like what?
They want to talk directly to the decision makers, not just the project managers.
Get buy-in from the top.
Exactly.
And they're clear about how they're going to make money.
Yeah, they've got a detailed financial plan.
Okay.
They're starting small,
Right.
using a lot of their own effort.
There's sweat equity
Yeah, and focusing on partnerships.
to keep costs down,
Yeah.
but they're projecting good profits.
Even early on.
So they have a solid plan.
Yeah.
They're targeting the right market,
Mm-hmm.
and they're being strategic about the challenges.
Yeah, they're ready.
Sounds promising.
Very promising.
I'm excited to see what they do.
Me too.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at how they're bringing this product to market.
Okay. They've got this really interesting go-to-market approach.
Yeah.
It's kind of multifaceted, you know. They're
Okay.
combining digital marketing,
Oh.
content creation, strategic partnerships,
Mm-hmm.
even some direct sales.
So they're doing a bit of everything.
Exactly.
What seems particularly smart.
Well, I think the focus on content marketing is smart.
Okay.
They're going to create white papers, blog posts, tutorials,
Mhm.
stuff that really addresses the problems their audience is having.
So they're trying to be seen as experts, not just salespeople.
Exactly. Build that trust.
Yeah,
Provide value.
makes sense.
And it's a great way to attract people who are already looking for these solutions.
Yeah, they're already searching for it.
Exactly.
So they're meeting them where they are.
Yeah. And they're also using things like LinkedIn and X
Oh, yeah, the social media platforms.
to reach the decision makers.
Yeah, that can be really effective.
It is, especially when you know who you're trying to reach.
Exactly. It's targeted.
And they're using SEO and a CM.
Okay, so they're really thinking about how to get their message seen,
They're being strategic about it.
not just spending money on ads.
Exactly. It's about reaching the right people.
And they're also looking at partnerships, right?
Yeah.
What kind of companies are they thinking about?
So they're looking at those existing PPM vendors.
Okay, the big guys.
Yeah, and consultancy firms.
Okay,
Even industry groups like PMI.
that's smart. Why?
It lets them tap into these existing networks
Okay,
and build credibility.
reach a wider audience.
Exactly.
So it's almost like they're building a whole ecosystem around their service.
Yes, partnering with others.
Yeah, providing those complementary services.
Right, a well-rounded solution.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's a very holistic approach.
They're not just relying on online stuff, though, right?
No.
You talked about direct sales and networking.
Yeah, they're going to be out there at events,
I'm-
giving demos, doing consultations.
Yeah.
That face-to-face interaction is still so important.
Yeah, especially when you're asking businesses to trust you with something this big.
Exactly. Project management is critical.
It's their whole business.
Building relationships, addressing concerns in person.
I like that. It makes them seem more human,
Yeah, it builds that trust.
not just some faceless corporation.
Right.
So their go-to-market approach is really well-rounded.
It is. They've really thought it through.
Okay, so we've talked about the product.
Yes.
We've talked about how they're going to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's shift gears for a second.
Okay.
What does this all mean for you, the listener?
Yeah.
Especially for those of you in small or medium-sized businesses,
Right.
always juggling those projects.
Trying to keep everything on track.
What's the benefit of jumping on board with Bright Minds early?
Well, you get to be at the cutting edge
Okay.
of project management.
Right.
You get to try something truly new
Okay.
that could give you an advantage over your competitors.
Because you're getting insights that they don't even know exist.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
And since they're targeting early adopters,
yeah.
they're really going to listen to your feedback.
Okay.
You can actually shape how this product develops.
That's huge.
It's a chance to build something together.
Yeah, it's not just buying software.
Right.
It's being part of something.
A community.
Yeah, and early adopters usually get the best deals.
Often, yeah.
Maybe some special pricing.
Early bird discounts.
Yeah, or exclusive perks.
Yeah.
But there are risks too, right?
Of course. There always are.
What should people be thinking about?
Well, sometimes new technology doesn't live up to the hype.
Right? It could be a flop.
Yeah, and Bright Minds is young.
Yeah.
So there might be some things that need to be worked out.
Like bugs in the system.
Yeah, but they do have a strong team
Okay.
with experience in this market.
So it's not like they're totally green.
No, they know what they're doing.
Okay, so let's say I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm a business owner. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, this might be worth checking out.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of questions should I be asking to make sure it's the right fit for my company?
The first question is always, how does it work?
Okay, so really understand the AI.
Yeah. What data does it use? How does it make those insights? How
Right.
accurate has it been?
Don't be afraid to get into the details.
Yeah, ask the tough questions.
And what about data security,
Yeah, that's important.
especially with a cloud-based system?
What security measures do they have? What about privacy and confidentiality?
Right, we don't want our data floating around out there.
And of course, there's the practical stuff.
Pricing, support.
What are the different tiers? What do you get at each level? What kind of support do they offer?
What about getting started?
Yeah, how does onboarding work? How long does it take?
And don't forget the big picture.
Right. What's their vision for the future? What are they working on?
Where do they see this service going?
Yeah, it's important to know if their vision aligns with yours.
Makes sense.
So you're not just buying for today.
Yeah, you're thinking long-term.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about what they do,
Mm-hmm.
but how about how they look?
Oh, yeah, their branding.
Yeah, all those blues.
The double dotted I.
The rounded letters.
They're trying to send a specific message.
What is it?
They say the colors represent trust, control, clarity,
Oh.
harmony, inclusiveness.
Wow, that's a lot for a color.
It is. But, blue does have that trustworthy feel.
Yeah, it's calming.
And the double dotted I is supposed to symbolize the connection of insights.
Interesting.
And the rounded letters are all about human connection.
Right, they're not just an algorithm.
Exactly. They're people.
Who care about helping businesses.
And their mission statement is delivering insights for positive change.
They're selling a vision.
Yeah, not just software.
Yeah, a better way to manage projects.
It all fits together.
It does.
But they are still new.
Right.
Not everyone knows them yet.
But they want to be a household name,
Yeah, they're aiming high.
and it seems to be working,
Yeah, they're generating buzz.
especially with those SMEs.
Yeah, their target audience.
Okay, so let's talk about the people behind this.
The team.
Yeah, what do we know about them?
So they don't tell us a lot about each person,
Okay.
but they do say their founders understand project management
Mm-hmm.
and the challenges that SMEs face.
So they've been there, done that.
Right, they have experience.
That's good to know.
They get it.
And they're honest about the fact that their team is new,
Yeah, they're upfront about it.
which is refreshing.
Most startups try to act like they know everything.
Yeah, like they've been doing this forever.
But Bright Minds is saying, hey, we're new, but we're learning.
Okay.
And they do have the right skills
Yeah.
in IT, in operations.
So they're aware of their limitations.
But they're confident.
that they can grow.
Exactly.
It's like that startup thing. You need experience,
Yeah,
but you also need to be willing to take risks.
and learn as you go.
They seem to be doing both.
Yeah, they found that balance.
Okay, so let's talk about how they actually built this.
Okay.
They've got this timeline for their product development.
Yeah.
4 phases. Pre-development and planning, product development,
Yeah.
go-to-market preparation,
Right.
and then the launch.
And post-launch.
It's very structured,
It is.
which is good.
Keeps them on track.
Yeah, especially in tech, where everything moves so fast.
It's easy to get overwhelmed.
Breaking it down into these steps
Right.
makes it manageable.
And it looks like they're in the go-to-market preparation phase now.
So they're doing those pilot tests,
With early adopters.
getting the product finalized,
Yeah.
putting those finishing touches on their marketing and sales.
It's all coming together.
And those pilot tests are important.
They are.
It shows they're listening to feedback
From real users.
and using it to make the product better.
Exactly.
It's a continuous feedback loop,
Yeah, always refining.
always improving,
They're collaborating with those early adopters.
which shows they're serious about building something valuable.
Yeah, they're in it for the long haul.
Okay, so we've got a structured process.
Yeah.
We've got this collaborative approach.
Mm-hmm.
What else is interesting about their product development?
Well, they're using existing technologies.
Like what?
They mentioned Microsoft 365 and Azure.
Okay, for their infrastructure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're not trying to build everything from scratch.
No, they're leveraging what's already there.
Standing on the shoulders of giants.
Exactly. They can focus on their AI.
And they're being smart about their spending.
Yes.
They're using white label products for some of the core features.
To keep costs down.
Be efficient.
And they're thinking long term.
Yeah.
They have a plan for when cloud costs go up.
Which they always do.
To keep the quality high and stay profitable.
So they're thinking ahead.
Which is crucial in tech.
Things change so quickly.
You have to be adaptable.
It sounds like they've got a good balance of structure and flexibility.
They do. They're ready for anything.
Okay, let's talk about feedback.
Okay.
They seem to really care about getting feedback from their users
They do.
and using it to make their service better.
It's a big part of their process.
So how are they doing that?
They've got feedback forms in their platform.
Okay.
They do customer interviews, focus groups, even case studies.
And they're not just listening to what people say.
Right.
They're also looking at their data.
The analytics, the usage data.
Yeah.
It tells you how people are really using the product.
It's not just what they think they're doing.
Exactly.
It's what they're actually doing.
It's so valuable.
So they're using both qualitative and quantitative data.
Right. A holistic view.
And then they're taking all that feedback and having regular meetings with stakeholders.
To discuss the product's direction.
Make sure everyone's on the same page.
And that the product aligns with the business goals.
It's a very thorough approach.
It is.
They're not just building something in isolation.
No, it's a constant conversation.
With users, with stakeholders.
Dynamic and iterative.
Okay, so to wrap up this section,
Yeah.
what's their long-term vision?
Where do they see themselves going? Well, they want to expand the platform,
Okay.
add new types of reporting.
Okay.
They want to be a leading partner for businesses by 2025.
Okay.
And they want to be thought leaders in project management.
Those are some big goals.
Ambitious?
Think they can do it.
I think they have a good shot.
Okay.
They've got the product, the team, the strategy.
They're committed to feedback.
And they're in a market that's ready for change.
Yeah. The need for good project management is only going to grow.
Especially for SMEs.
If they can execute on their vision,
Yeah,
they could be huge.
I think so.
Okay, we've covered a lot today.
We have?
Let's take a quick break. And then we'll come back to wrap up this deep dive into Bright Minds
Sounds good.
and talk about what it all means for you.
All right.
All right, we're back, ready to wrap up our look at Bright Minds Insights for Projects.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating deep dive.
It has. We've talked about the AI, their plan to get it out there.
Oh, the strategy.
But let's bring it back to you, the listener.
Yeah, what does this mean for you?
Especially if you're in a small or medium business, always working on projects.
Trying to stay on top of everything.
Are you really seeing the whole picture?
That's the question.
You're just looking at budgets and deadlines and status reports?
Those traditional metrics,
Or are you missing something?
that human element.
Because those numbers only tell part of the story, right?
Yeah, they show you what's happening.
But not why it's happening.
Exactly. Bright Minds is trying to fill that gap.
By looking at the feelings?
Yeah, the perceptions, the sentiments of the team.
It's like they're saying, hey, don't forget about the people behind those numbers.
The human beings doing the work.
Yeah. And by understanding that human side,
Bright Minds can give you a much better idea of how the project is really doing.
it's like predicting the future.
Kind of spotting those early warning signs.
Like a team that's hitting deadlines but losing confidence.
Or maybe there's tension between departments.
That's slowing things down.
Exactly. It's like having an alarm system.
That goes off before the whole thing blows up.
You can address those problems before they get out of control.
And it's not just about fixing problems.
Right. It's also about understanding what's working well.
So you can make it even better.
Exactly. Maybe there's a team that's killing it.
Yeah. Exceeding expectations.
What are they doing differently?
Can we learn from them? Can we apply those lessons to other teams?
And that's where I think Bright Minds could really change things.
It's not just another tool.
It's a whole new approach to leadership and collaboration.
Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's say I'm a business owner
Okay.
and I'm on the fence about Bright Minds.
Thinking about taking the leap,
What would you say to convince me?
I'd ask, what's the cost of not knowing?
That's a good question.
What are those hidden problems costing you right now?
The ones you can't see.
Bright Minds shines a light on those blind spots.
Gives you information you wouldn't have otherwise.
And in today's world, that knowledge is power.
It's about being proactive, using data,
But never forgetting about the people.
helping them do their best.
Achieving those goals that seemed impossible.
And for those who are willing to try something new,
The early adopters.
the rewards could be huge.
They could be game changers.
Food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.